Grace and Elijah met at a corporate retreat in Vancouver. Both worked in marketing, both were single, both were tired of dating apps and small talk. They were paired together for a trust-building exercise, and Elijah cracked a joke that made Grace spit her coffee. The whole room laughed. It was chemistry. Or at least, the illusion of it. They went for drinks that night, and by midnight, they were walking through downtown, sharing details that usually took months to surface. Grace hadn't spoken to her dad in 4 years. Elijah used to be married for exactly 11 months and 6 days. They felt like soulmates. Everyone said so. You two just fit, people told them. Grace and Elijah moved in together after 6 months. They painted walls with colors they both hated but wouldn't admit to. They got a dog, took turns making coffee, had Sunday mornings where the sunlight made their apartment feel like a dream. They talked about kids. They said maybe. They said someday. Neither of them meant no, but they also didn't really mean yes. Still, they rehearsed the lines of the modern love story. We're not like other couples. We're a team. We're honest with each other. But real honesty. That was quieter. Elijah resented how Grace filled silences with anxious chatter. Grace hated how Elijah always seemed slightly detached, like he was interviewing her, even when they were in bed. Still, they stayed. Because it was love, right? It wasn't perfect, but what love was. It wasn't one fight. It was the accumulation of tiny, silent withdrawals. Grace had a miscarriage. They hadn't even been trying, but it devastated her. Elijah said all the right things. Held her when she cried. Cooked. Cleaned. But Grace noticed that he didn't cry. Not even once. When she asked why, he said, I didn't feel it the way you did. That line never left her. Elijah, meanwhile, had started spending late nights at the office again. He claimed it was deadlines. Grace believed him, until she didn't. There was no affair. No betrayal. Just two people slowly becoming strangers. And in their quietest moments, both began to suspect something awful. That maybe this love, their love, was not the once-in-a-lifetime kind. That maybe that kind didn't even exist. Maybe what people called true love was just timing, proximity, hormones, and a good soundtrack. They split one Sunday. No screaming. No slamming of doors. Grace sat on the couch and said, Are you happy? Elijah didn't lie. He said, I don't think I've been happy in a long time. They talked for hours. They cried. They ordered Thai food. They divided the books and the plants. They promised to stay friends. They didn't stay friends. Years passed. Grace married a musician who traveled too much. Elijah moved to Montreal, started a quiet life. Sometimes they thought of each other. Sometimes they wondered if they'd given up too early. But in their clearest moments they both knew the truth. The love they wanted, the one that answered all needs, transcended doubt, never wavered, never existed. Not really. Not between anyone. And chasing it had made them blind to the quiet, imperfect kind they had. And maybe that was the tragedy, not losing the perfect love, but failing to appreciate the only kind of love that's real.